about to get started here. Oh, and where we go. I'll keep talking about the... Alright, so we have almost a symmetrical start, but they'll get that perfect here in a second. Jeremy did pick up the power-up in 1-1, so I'm guessing Jeremy's going to go Big Fire. So the biggest difference between these two runners is that I know Xerox is going to go Small Fire. I assume Jeremy's going to go Big Fire. Although he actually has a really good Small Fire time, but he is mostly big. And this race is mostly just going to be who can make the least mistakes. Although Xerox's PB is several seconds slower than Jeremy's, but not really comparing apples to apples, because Xerox does Small Fire, and that's a 6-second off the bat. So Xerox taking it safe there as Small Mario, which I think is very good idea. No sense in dying on 1-2. And really no surprises so far. And it looks like it is synced up. It looks like Xerox in the lead because I guess he is, apparently, but he has to power up and then lose power up, then power up again, and then power up again. So he is actually behind right now, even though it shows that he is ahead. Xerox is going to do the Small Fire glitch. Let's see here. Yep, no mistakes so far. So what Xerox is going to do, Small Fire, probably at least half of you, or well, maybe half of you are familiar with the Small Fire glitch, but here's how it works. So xeroxfiend is just going to power up once, which he's already done, and he's going to get hit by Bowser on the same frame that he completes the level, and for whatever reason that gives you Small Mario with big hitbox points. Yep, you see, so xeroxfiend is flashing like he got hit there. So he got hit by Bowser on the exact same frame that he completed 1-4. Now, he is going to be big into 1, but if he gets touched once, which hopefully he won't, he will immediately die. So he has to power up, that'll make him small, but with more hit points, and then power up again, and that'll make him Small Fire Mario. And neither of them have made any mistakes so far. I like this level the best of the whole game here. Yep, two perfect runners so far. So, one of the interesting things about this tournament thus far is we are down to the final, I guess actually we're down to the final 8, but the bracket we're completing here is the final 16. And of the 16, it is the top 17 rated players made the top 16, so only one deviated from their seed prediction. And also, in every single case in this bracket, the better seeded person has won, except once where their seeds were side by side. I don't know if that made any sense, but it just goes to show that this, although there's certainly an element of luck, skill plays a lot in this game. Usually the better seeded person will win. That being said, Xerox is seated below Jeremy, but not really apples to apples because Xerox's time has a 6-second penalty. So let's get back to the game here. Entering 2-3. And the time delay is about perfect for the amount of delay Xerox took getting Small Fire. Maybe a little bit more because he played 1-2 save, but I take my word for it, this is going to come down to who makes the fewest mistakes. There's no way these two runners are going to get through the entire game without making some power down type mistake, or possibly even a death. But of course, if that does happen, if neither of them make a mistake, that will make Jeremy the victor, since he is in front here. Going into 2-4, Jeremy's still probably, I don't know, 10 seconds ahead. Something like that. 2-4, another castle level. We got 2 of the 8 completed, so we are 1/4 done with the game once we complete this. And again, both these runners unbelievably talented at this game. Oh, whew! Singed some hairs. Talk about luck, though. That Xerox, that could have been a very important moment for Xerox, but he managed to get out of the Bowser haircut. So 3-1, is a medium difficulty level here. Maybe more difficult than a normal level, but again, both runners just speeding through everything. So no mistakes yet. No mistakes yet. Yep, both runners completing 3-1 just on time. We are down to the final 8 in the tournament, and this is the last game of the final 16. So the winner of this will be in the final 8. And then it just eliminates from there. 3-2! I don't know what to say about this level. It's kind of one of the easiest levels, but I personally find myself dying on this quite often, so maybe that means I'm bad, I'm not sure. But Jeremy getting through it just fine. Xerox also getting through it just fine. And 3-3, one of the easier levels. 3-4 is the first level where you the RNG prevents you from going full speed unless you know what exact frame you're on. I think Xerox will be using a spreadsheet which will make him know what exact frame he's on and be able to go full speed. We'll see here. Jeremy also should have access to a sheet, but you have to be really confident in the sheet. Because if you know what exact frame you're on and you are able, and you don't slow down, you'll know exactly the height of those potaboos that Jeremy there is jumping over. And you'll know exactly what Bowser's going to do. Because this game is, it looks random. Yep, Jeremy knows exactly what frame he's on. He went full speed, so he is looking at a sheet. That was beautiful, what Jeremy did there. That was impressive. And Xerox also, whew! And that one had to have been flagged as one of the moderate difficulty, but he went anyway, so good for him. So both of them going full speed through 3-4, and both, I don't know how they wouldn't be, but both appear to be using some sort of a spreadsheet to get through this. So that was the first real level on a spreadsheet, and then 5-4 will also use a spreadsheet, and that is, of course, if they don't get hit. If they get hit, it kind of ruins everything. So the game creates these seemingly random patterns just based off of the exact frame you enter a level. And so if you know what exact frame you enter a level on, then you can know exactly what's going to happen, which is useful. So some runners have created Excel spreadsheets based on your pace to tell you exactly, is Bowser going to be left, is Bowser going to be right, is he going to fire a fireball whenever, what height are the potaboos going to be, etc. So here we have a little difference. Oh, Jeremy is going bottom route, and I fully predict Xerox to go bottom route as well. That's more the Pog route. Here it's the pretty route. But both runners doing the pretty route. Good job to both of the runners. It looks like it's a harder route, but once you get the muscle memory down, it's actually not that bad. So still, we are almost halfway done with this whole first game, and no runners have made a mistake. So we'll see if Commentator's Curse catches up. But for now, both runners effectively have made 0 mistakes that I have noticed anyway. Xerox has had a close call, and again, Jeremy finishing perfectly. I can't tell if he got, and it looks like Xerox got the extra frame roll there for the Sky Boots or Sky Butt. This 4-3 is 1 frame away from the frame roll, so you have to do a little bit of manipulations. Jump at the exact right time to squeeze into the next frame roll. Oh, and there's the mistake. So Jeremy did get hit by the firebar, did not duck, whether it was a lost input or whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter, but he did hit his head on that firebar. So he is going to have to power back up, and also that will make him go off of his sheet. So he will no longer know what random patterns he'll be getting. Let's see when he powers up here. This is a terrible... Oh, and he dies. So, yep, it's all about who can avoid dying. And Xerox nearly died on that Bowser. Managed to avoid it, but Jeremy just barely touched that firebar, and that's going to cost him. I believe 5-1. I've been wrong before, but I think 5-1 does not have power-ups. I'm probably wrong. I think I'm right. But that puts xeroxfiend in a pretty commanding, well, I shouldn't say commanding, we're only halfway done, but in a pretty sizable lead. Jeremy has to power up twice, and he's big. So it is an advantage to be small since you have the smaller hitbox. This is still anyone's race, although at this point I would put a advantage to Xerox here. Yikes, that was a brave thing to do for Jeremy there, but it did work out for him. And Xerox finishing the level on time. Jeremy's going to power up there. There is one. Oh, ouch! And that's what happens. Once you start, if you kind of get in the flow, things can just work fine. But once you kind of get flustered, and I don't know what his psychological state is right now, but if it was me, I'd be a little flustered. That's how I get during tournaments but once you get off your groove, it just kind of seems like things just start falling apart. He did double power up here though, so he's back in it. It is still anyone's race, but I think Xerox does have a little bit of an advantage here. Just about one entire level ahead. Going into 5-3 and 5-4, so Xerox should still be on the sheet. We'll see what he does here. And he did not go full speed, which either means he's taking it safe, or it means occasionally there will be bad bars, which you will know there'll be bad. Oh, and Xerox takes a hit there. Let's see if he gets out of. Oh, and we died. So that'll put us just about tied back up, except Xerox needs to power up. And it'll be interesting to see if he resets up small fire. I assume he will not, although he does not. Well, he can't now. So, yeah, like I said, it's definitely going to be who makes the least mistakes, and both runners have made pretty big mistakes. And there's another one. So Xerox taking another death. That has to be hard to swallow there. I believe he still has 2 lives left, so it shouldn't be a game over situation, but it certainly could be if he's not careful. So now Jeremy is in a fairly commanding lead here. Jeremy, it's Jeremy's to lose at this point. If Jeremy can just play it safe and go the rest of the time without making a major mistake, he can even make a few moderate mistakes and still have this. 6-1, fortunately for Xerox, is a pretty good level to power up. They're 2 easy to pick up power-ups. Let's see what he does here. There's a little manipulation there. If you jump at the exact right time, the Lakitu will not throw the Spinies on his first throw. I don't know if it despawns or what, but Xerox did pick up the first one. Jeremy is in 6-2, one of the most fun levels in my opinion. It looks really complicated. It is really complicated, especially for beginning runners, but it's a lot of fun actually. One of the more fun levels in the game. Jeremy activating that star, a little bit of a swag star. And Jeremy went through, no problem. It looks like we will be finishing, I don't know, 20, maybe even above 20 minutes here. I think Jeremy's probably set to finish high 19, maybe, somewhere in there. Jeremy in the black and white level. This one is a little complicated, but once the veteran runners know how to do it pretty easily. So there's a little bit of a weird slowdown you have to do there that you can see Jeremy doing. So Xerox is doing big fire. It is significantly harder to set up small fire later in the game, although definitely still possible. But it does have that same 6-second time loss, and it is, especially once you're getting into World 6 where Bowser starts throwing hammers, just a big old mess. And you don't want to try and set up small fire to be safe and then end up dying to be safe. That's pretty silly. But Jeremy getting through 6-4 looks like, and did kill Bowser with the blooper sprite death. Jeremy going into World 7, Xerox going into World 6-4. So Xerox is going to have to take this first part safe, and he does. A little pause there, makes the bars better. Uh, 7-1, actually a fairly difficult level, at least for me. But Jeremy gets through it just fine, and Xerox gets through 6-4 just fine. So again, I would say Jeremy has a pretty big advantage here, especially both runners with a lot of any percent knowledge have played, I mean, probably thousands of times they've played World 8 because the entirety of World 8 is in the any percent route. So once we get to World 8, especially if they have fire, they're going to feel pretty confident there in that. Although they are big and any percent would be traditionally small. But World 8 should not be much of a problem. There are some complications that can happen for Jeremy here, especially in this water level. Although, if I was him, I would be taking things especially safe. I don't know if he's aware of where Xerox is, if he has Xerox's stream up or not. But if I knew that Xerox was one full level behind me, I would certainly be not taking any risks. So we'll see here. Jeremy did get through. There's a blooper at the end of the level that Jeremy did not get, but that can cause you some problems. Let's see if Xerox gets it here. Whoa! Alright. Xerox cheating death again there. Singeing his hairs on the bloopers. And actually 7-3 is a similar level that we've seen before, but with some added hazards. Yikes. Jeremy almost getting hit there, but avoiding it. And again, these are both, I mean, top 20 in the world, easily. Maybe easily top 20 anyway, in the entire world for Warpless Super Mario. Both of these runners. Jeremy, World 7-4. This is one of the maze levels, but you, if you go the wrong route, you will trigger a infinity loop in the maze. It'll cycle backwards, which I imagine neither runner can do, but sometimes if you bonk in the wrong place, it can still trigger the loop. But of course, Jeremy did not trigger that loop. And kills Bowser, and Jeremy is in World 8, which it's kind of, he's on the glide path here. He's all downhill from here for Jeremy, but anything can happen. All it takes is for one death. 8-1 is the longest level in terms of time to finish, and I think just pure length in the game. And it also doesn't have any it doesn't have any checkpoints. So if Jeremy were to die at the end of 8-1, he would restart the beginning of 8-1, at which point Xerox would already be somewhat, and Xerox made another mistake, already partially through 8-1, so that would put them ahead. Actually, that would give Xerox an advantage, but Xerox did accidentally trigger the bridge animation there, so it seems like it takes more time to kill Bowser before getting the axe, because I guess it does, but it actually saves time to kill Bowser first, because if you get the axe, you will get the axe quicker than killing Bowser, but you'll have to watch a little animation of the bridge collapsing, which takes a few seconds. It ends up being faster to kill Bowser with fireballs and then touch the axe to save time on the level. So Jeremy going through 8-2, one of the more difficult levels. Let's see if he goes fast here. If I was him, I certainly would not, but he is a better runner than I am. He does not go, I mean, that's pretty dang close to as fast as you could go, but he doesn't quite, he does hit a pipe there. Xerox finishing up 8-1. And again, this is Jeremy's to lose. There's some weird stuff that can happen in 8-3, even with fire. So there's the gauntlet, they call it, the 4 Hammer Brothers there at the end, and even if you're able to kill them with fire, sometimes there's hammers that go in unfortuitous positions and can still kill you if you're not safe. And if he did get hit, it could mess him up for 8-4, but that's really the only way I could see this going south for Jeremy. So Jeremy is past 8-3. There's still a few things in 8-4 that can happen, but we'll see. If he manages to keep fire, he's got a home run here. So Xerox is just banking on Jeremy making a mistake, but honestly, both runners still world-class performance, even with the mistakes. You're looking at literally the best in the world playing this together. And this is a no-reset tournament, obviously, so mistakes are expected. In fact, a mistakeless run, even for the best in the world, is fairly rare in a tournament. Jeremy is going to trigger a little glitch here. You can see him, excuse me, going through his head went through the blocks there. He triggered a glitch. If you duck and then jump in the water, it makes your hitbox forget about the top half of Mario. So he does get hit, but it doesn't matter. And 1946 for Jeremy. And Xerox will have a little bit over a 20-minute run. Still great, and he doesn't quite get that... doesn't quite get COVID. Thanks, Lalamo. Distracting, that was funny, though. Doesn't quite get the glitch. Xerox just about to shoot it up here. Should have no problem finishing. And good game, Jeremy. And here we go. This is the end of game 1. Both runners got hit there, but 20:25, still an incredibly solid time. And we have 1 to go. So that is Jeremy was 1, and Xerox will need to win the next 2 in order to take this thing down. So great race for both. A lot of GGs in the chat to both runners there. And let's see here. They should be starting the next race in a second. In case you were watching, Jeremy did just get the flagpole glitch. Just for giggles here. Runner's point of view, the race is starting. It'll still be a few seconds for it to catch up, but the race has started for the runners in the actual real world. Let's see here. And once again, Xerox does have to win 2 in a row of the next 2 in order to take this thing down. We'll see if Jeremy wins the next one, though. The game is over, and Jeremy wins. Looks like Jeremy trying to do the pipe clip here. Runners should be starting here any second. Started actually almost doesn't even need a sync. That was almost flawlessly perfect. And I imagine we're going to take the exact same routes. Jeremy picking up the same power-up he picked up last time, so probably safe to say Xerox is going to do small fire, Jeremy's going to do big fire. And given that Jeremy picked up that mushroom, it's almost guaranteed that he's going to go big fire. Although he has a phenomenal small fire time, as I said before. But there's a small fire is easier in a way because you have a smaller hitbox, but it does give you that 6-second disadvantage. And there's most of the top tier runners play big fire, and at this point they've played so much big fire that they just are more used to it. So for them, it almost might be safer just to go big anyway, even aside from the disadvantage. Xerox taking the safe strategy there, kicking the shell, which I think is safe. And again, I said it last time, and it was true last time, that this is going to be a game of avoid mistakes. The player that avoids the most mistakes is going to be the winner here. These two almost matched ability level. Technically, Jeremy has a faster time, but he does play big fire, which gives you a 6-second advantage. Although his small fire time is slightly better than Xerox's as well. But regardless, 2 world-class runners. Xerox going into World 1-3 needs to pick up this power-up. And And he does do the fast version of the pickup there. And again, no mistakes so far, but wouldn't really expect any mistakes just yet. But Xerox does take the fast route in 1-3, which I actually don't do that route in tournaments. I end up dying too much, but Xerox is a better runner than I am, so he did do the risky strat there. Xerox going to go straight through. Jeremy also going to go straight through. Xerox will trigger the small fire glitch here. And Jeremy's going to kill Bowser. So once again, Xerox is going to get in that little nook, and he will get hit by Bowser on the exact frame that he finishes the level, which makes him flash there. So you can see, they say, thank you, Mario, but Mario is currently damaged. So Xerox is going to enter 2-1 with a big fire sprite, but a small fire hit points. So if he gets hit once, he will die. Now he has the small fire sprite, but he could take another hit, and now he has small fire. So both runners playing exactly how they want to play. And at the end of this level, given that they both have gone fast so far, Jeremy should be, I don't know, about 7 or 8 seconds ahead, since Xerox has taken a few things safe. So should be 6, 7, 8 seconds ahead, something like that to Jeremy. But I think there's almost no way this is going to come down to those 7 or 8 seconds. It is going to come down to who makes the most, or the least, rather, mistakes. Can small fire break bricks? Yes, he can. Yep. Small or small fire. Sorry. No. Nope, just kidding. Don't listen to me. I don't, I'm just the commentator. No, he cannot. Yeah, he has the same properties as non-fire small Mario. So both runners going through 2-2 here. Shouldn't be a problem. The World 7 version of this level is the trickier one with a little bit more enemies. And as predicted, both runners getting through 2-2 no problem, and still about the same time gap. Jeremy with the advantage, 6, 7, or 8 seconds, somewhere in there. And now we're 2-3, which also shouldn't be a problem for either of the runners, although it, especially for Jeremy, but either runner really, you can get fish that jump in positions that make Jeremy especially have to duck, which it can get hairy and end up getting hit. But I would imagine probably both runners are going to be totally fine here. And then 2-4 is the second Bowser level. All right, and they are both exactly where they need to be. They neither have made a mistake, so that puts Jeremy in the lead by some number of seconds. The amount of time it takes for Xerox to acquire that small fire glitch. Both runners going straight through here. This can be, you saw Jeremy had the duck there. And that's one of the advantages of small fire, is that just instances like that, where Xerox would be able to go straight under that without having to duck. Up, and Xerox made his first mistake. It's only going to be about a 2-second mistake, though, so not a big deal. This will not be the game-ending mistake, obviously. But Xerox did cost himself a couple seconds there by not getting that final firebar to kill Bowser, and he did trigger the bridge animation, which cost him a couple additional seconds, furthering the gap. But we'll see if they both keep playing well. 3-1, both runners still doing well. Any benefits to small fire besides the smaller hitbox and no need to duck? That's the main one. Additionally, it just looks cool, but yeah, it's mostly that it's a small hitbox and no need to duck. The no need to duck is actually very beneficial in a lot of places. Ducking, the good runners can do it well. You do such a quick duck that it doesn't slow you down, but ducking can also oddly slow you down if you do it wrong, and you can get killed that way. But there's a few tight areas where small fire is considerably easier. But people like Jeremy or any of the other runners have so much practice at big fire, it's just second nature and causes no problems whatsoever. But for a medium ability runner, I would recommend learning the small fire glitch. Very easy glitch to do. I'm sure there's YouTube videos on it. But if you know the inputs, it's easy even for a beginner runner to get the glitch, and then it makes the rest of the run easier and looks cool. Jeremy finishing 3-3 on time. Xerox also finishing 3-3. So they have the same about nothing really has happened. Both runners just playing exactly how they want to play, other than Xerox making a small, maybe 1 or 2 second mistake there. Oh, and speak too soon. Xerox did make a mistake, although he does still have the small fire glitch. You saw he was big, and then he powered up to make himself small, backwards from normal. But assuming he doesn't get hit here, yeah, he was going to pick up one more power up, and then he will be small fire still. So he does need to. There you go. Subscription apparently made a small fire tutorial. Xerox will get one more power up, and that'll make him small fire again. You lose small fire if you die. If you get hit, you still have the glitched state. You just have to pick up a couple more power ups. So there you go. Xerox got the small fire again. So giving Jeremy Xerox is just giving some inches to Jeremy a few times here, but I still refuse to believe that this is going to be what decides the game. There's no way both of these runners are going to get through the rest of the game without a major mistake, and no major mistakes have happened yet. So I would predict there's going to be a death or a game over. Well, not a game over, but a death. Something is going to come for the rest of the game, but we'll see. Maybe. So far, Jeremy's done a phenomenal performance here, so we'll see how that goes. And just like last time, commentator's cursor flying. Just like last time, both runners taking the bottom route. And so much of Mario is about muscle memory, but once you kind of learn the bottom route, that's just what you do. So both runners almost through 4-2, and there's 4-2 for Xerox. So entering 4-3. 4-3 is the level where it is right next to its neighboring frame rule. So you'll see Jeremy, that jump right there. That jump is pretty tight. You have to jump on the very edge of the plant. I don't know what these things are. Mushrooms? I don't know what they are. I guess mushrooms. And occasionally that can cause a death. It almost looked like Xerox might have slowed down there, and if he did, he might not have, but if he did, that would cost him the additional frame rule. Not that a frame rule is going to make any difference in Warpless, although it has in the past. There's been races that have been decided by less than a frame rule. It has definitely happened. There's Jeremy. You saw him take a hefty duck there. Said, not this time. Not this time. Oh, and Jeremy making the same mistake. He needed one more fireball for Bowser and didn't quite get it. So that does give 2 seconds back to Xerox. Let's see how Xerox handles this. This is one of the more difficult Bowsers. You saw, woo, doing a little dance. So Xerox says, nah, you can take that 2 seconds back. And gives it right back. So they both had equal time difficulties there. 5-1. I'm sure Jeremy appreciates being all big and fiery for 5-1. It's kind of funny how 4-4 works. 4-4 is one of the harder castle levels because of the Bowser. They have a Potaboo and a flame. It just gets real hairy real fast. And then 5-1 doesn't have any power-ups, so it's easy to lose a power-up in 4-4, and then it's not a nice level to not have a power-up in 5-1. And again, both runners, no huge mistakes yet. Xerox did have to power back up, but we are only looking at a half a level or less difference, and I still doubt that's going to be the deciding factor here. I think a bigger mistake is going to happen between now and the end of the game, but we'll see. And Xerox finishing up 5-2. Jeremy in 5-3. This is a level, depending on what spreadsheet he's using and how it's formatted, it might tell him what's going to happen here. Whew! So I don't know if he knew that was happening or not, but you can kind of react to these. There are some bad random rules, though, that get pretty hairy and are hard to avoid here. And it looks like both runners prep. Yep, both runners getting through 5-3. That's one of the more difficult levels. Jeremy taking the safe strategy there. That was the Royal Good Bars. So shout out to Royal Gamer or Royalty now for discovering. Whew! Yep, and that would mean that Jeremy does know what frame rule he is on because he jumped over the Darby has no faith for no mistakes. That's true. Ever the pessimist. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Oh, and Xerox getting hit, but he still keeps his small fire glitched state. So 6-1, fortunately, is one of the easiest levels to power back up in, so he will be powering up both times in 6-1. Shouldn't be much of an issue, and I hope that is not the curse. Jeremy getting through 6-1, so we are just about one entire full level discrepant here. Well, less than a level. Still less than a level. And Xerox is going to go for his second. Whoop. Having some trouble picking that. Whoop. Power up there and having to do a dance with Lakitu. And Jeremy on what appears to be a hard level, but rarely will mess up these runners. But it is one of the hardest looking levels in the game. And again, for newer players, it is one of the hardest levels. Xerox going in again to 6-2, the pipe plant level, piranha pipe level, but shouldn't have any problem getting through that. 6-3, again, one of kind of a difficult level, but these two world-class runners have done this hundreds or thousands of times, so shouldn't be much of a problem for Jeremy. And Xerox finishing up 6-2, Jeremy finishing up 6-3. So we are just about one level behind. Go Jeremy, go Xerox. I like the equality there. Jeremy in 6-4, and he does still know what rule he's on. He could not have made that full speed jump without knowing what rule he's on, because there's some RNG or randomness that unless you know what that RNG generator is going to create, you can't go full speed there. There's a safe strategy where you pause and then you can get through the rest of the level, but we'll see if Xerox... Oh, no, he can't. So Xerox, because he's been hit, he does not know what his randomness will be, and there's the safe strategy. So if you pause underneath that, it will guarantee that bar is good, and it also gives you fairly easy patterns for those bars as well. So Jeremy in 7-1, again, one of the difficult levels. Moderate difficulty. And Jeremy getting through it no problem. Xerox just about to enter 7-1, so they are still... yeah, and 6-4, there's a pretty intense amount of lag that happens with those hammers on 6-4. Bowser throws some hammers, and the Nintendo Entertainment System says, that's a lot. That's a lot. Has to think about it. 7-2. Last time, neither of the runners got the bad blooper at the end of 7-2. We'll see what happens to Jeremy here. There's a blooper that can guard the exit to 7-2. We'll see if he gets that. Other than that, though, it really isn't that hard of a level. There's some fish that can get in your way, and Jeremy does avoid the bad blooper there at the end. See if Xerox can be as lucky. It's still anyone's race. It definitely could still go to Xerox here for the second game, but I do think there's a definite advantage to Jeremy at this time. But it definitely could go either way, and we'll see. Oh, nice fish kill there. Yep, so we've now had this level 4 times, and none of the 4 times we've seen that bad blooper, so they have both managed both times to avoid the bad blooper there, guarding the exit at 7-2. Jeremy through 7-3. Fairly simple level if you know what's happening. And Xerox entering 7-3. Jeremy just about to go to the second to last Bowser level. And it is a maze level, which you won't see unless he makes a pretty big mistake that he almost never makes. But if you don't go through the exact correct route in this level, it will trigger loops, and you can stay here until you time over. Bad memories from learning Warpless. So if you ever... Oh, and there's a mistake. Interesting. So Jeremy... Now this is interesting to see. Jeremy's going to be just filled with the desire to try and do 8-1 fast as a primarily any percent runner here. We'll see if he takes the optimal route for 8-1. I kind of think he's going to. I think he should go safe, but let's... Oh, nope, he's going safe. I think that's definitely the correct move here. So he is going safe. He does not do the any percent route. His safe hardly leaves you any time. It might lose you a second here. But fairly risky to go fast in 8-1. He's even going safe there. That's good. Okay. I think that's definitely the correct strategy. Oh, did Xerox loop the maze and I didn't see it? I wish I would have caught that. Yeah, I imagine it's... I didn't see what happened, but I imagine it's because he hit his head on something he shouldn't have hit his head on. Or maybe he missed a... Either way, it just illustrates what happens when you don't go the exact correct route. And Jeremy getting the celebratory fireworks for completing 8-1. So here's 8-2. A pretty difficult level. There's... Actually, Xerox came up with one of the safe strategies for this level. The BBBB. The... I forget what it stands for. Something. Someone in the chat can say what it is. But, Jeremy, yeah, definitely going safe and getting hit. That's interesting. Huh. And another firework. So the game celebrates. This says, congratulations, Jeremy, you got through 8-1. Congratulations, Jeremy, you got through 8-2. Here's some fireworks. So Xerox going through 8-2. In fact, here we go. So it's bonk, boing, bounce, something else. But we'll see Xerox do it here. He is going to brush up against this, and then he's going to brush up against that, and then some other B stuff. I never ended up using it. It's a fantastic strategy, but I'm just too dumb to use it. So Jeremy is going fast through here, and it... Oh, wow! It worked out for him, but it almost didn't work out. So that would have been a game-changing moment there had he not barely killed that final Hammer Brother. And it turns out, when you collide with enemies, if you are having a downward trajectory, even just a little bit, you will kill the enemy. So if you touch yours and the enemy's face touch, but you're going down, you will kill the enemy. If you're going up or pure sideways, you will die to the enemy. So that's how Jeremy ended up killing that brother. All right, this still, I imagine there's no way Jeremy's going to challenge Bowser here, but if it is a possibility he's going to make a mistake here. Surely he'll go safe on both the Podoboo and Bowser, and it looks like he's going to, which almost guarantees him the win. Yep, and Jeremy with the second victory. Fantastic time to both runners. Unfortunately, Xerox is out of the tournament, but once again, a world-class runner to Xerox. GG to both runners. That will give, let's see here. The victory to Jeremy. So that puts Jeremy with the win, and Xerox with the did get through it, but it was eliminated. So Xerox will be done with the tournament. But look at that time, 1947. Fantastic time for a tournament. A sub 20 in a tournament, that's crazy. Let's see. Do we have someone in the chat here? Oh, it looks like you're both. Starting with Xerox. So Xerox, what did you think? How would that go?
It's pretty sloppy. You know, not my best, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I saw. We were talking about it's all about making the least mistakes, and that second race, 1947. That's a great time, but just do you feel good about it?
I feel fine about the second race. I had everything that happened was annoying. Like 5-4 was just annoying today. So like this is what I expected. Jeremy's one of the best Warpless players in the world, and I was like, coming into this, I was just like, you know, Jeremy's gonna have to make some big mistakes for me to have a chance. And instead, I made some big mistakes. So you know, it is what it is.
With reducing mistakes for sure, but both of you are I mean top 20 in the world Warpless, so it it definitely could have gone either way, but you both made mistakes both of the times. It's just Jeremy ended up inching it out.
Yep. Well, GG to Jeremy. That's 1925's amazing race time. So
GG. Thank you.
How did you feel about that? Well, I guess either of the races.
So, I don't know. I don't feel great because, I mean, I did a 1913 like, what, probably an hour before this started, but like all of the time loss that I had in both races were pretty much because of one or two mistakes. So, you know, it's rough, and 7-4 is hard, but I'll take it, I guess.
And Jeremy, it looked like, I guess, question for both the runners, but it looked like both of you had your spreadsheets up. Jeremy, you were going fast castles there, 1. And 2, did you have each other's streams up? Were you modifying your gameplay based on the pace of the other runner?
I did have a spreadsheet up, and I was looking at the stream, but I wasn't really modifying how I was playing. It was mostly like, if it's an easy pattern, go through, you know.
yeah, I had the spreadsheet up as well. I couldn't use it often, but I did have it up, and I was looking where Jeremy was occasionally. But yeah, like I was mostly just trying to recover from mistakes, so there wasn't much of that kind of trying to keep up with Jeremy in that sense.
Especially that first race, Jeremy, when you took the death, it looked like you were maybe getting a little flustered there, which definitely happens in tournaments. I don't know if that was the case or not.
Yeah, the PMA was gone after the 4-4 hit. But, you know, I'm still kind of confused, because I feel like I ran long enough. But I re-grabbed. It all worked out in the end, I guess.
So I saw in the second race, it looked like you did a nice hefty duck there, just to be extra sure. But both runners, again, world-class runners, and this will be the end of the tournament for Xerox. But one of the nicest guys you can ever watch. Let's do the comment to show both of those Twitch streams in chat. But follow both these runners if you want. Both great watching. So drop them a follow. And this will conclude Xerox's time in the tournament, but Jeremy will go on to the final 8. So make sure to watch the rest of the tournament to see the conclusion of this tournament. That's about it. Thanks you everybody for watching, and thank you for SpeedGaming for hosting and making this a super simple process for runners and commentators to get on. So appreciate all the staff there, and see you guys next time.
Later.